we're gonna come up with a topic, hopefully, and I'm gonna talk and I'm gonna say stuff. I enjoyed something that I am going to share in the middle of it. I don't know when that middle is, but it's probably gonna be somewhere close to not the middle. I drank something because I'm 31 years old and I can do what I want. I am an adult. I do not live at my mom's house anymore. So, alright, here we go. And I don't have a ponytail because ponytails are stupid because it constricts the blood flow in your skull. Alright, we're gonna know that I know things even though I am not ready to drive. If I was driving for real, people would understand the reasons why I am now driving on a video game. Alright. There we go. Let's go. You know what? Let's go online. Let's go online, guys. I'm gonna see if I can make a race, or not make a race, but start or host a race that is happening. It's competition. It's great. I'm gonna not say anything more about competitions, and we're gonna see if what my character's up to and what his name is, because I named him. Let's just see what his name is. Alright, because I forgot. But sometimes I forget things. And, alright guys, it's the middle of the video. It's not the middle of the video, and I know that. But I want to tell y'all what kind of drink I had. I want everyone to understand that I drank a double shot, maybe a triple, I don't know, of a thing called a Hennessy Snowball. Alright, I'm alone. I'm completely by myself. I had a Hennessy Snowball. It's delicious. I put grape juice in mine because it's awesome. You pour honey in it, a little bit of grape juice, and then you mix everything together and try to crush the grapes as much as possible. Or you can leave them uncrushed. You know, depends on if you want to eat them afterwards. Because the grapes have a lot of flavor in them, and that's the reason why I got it. Because the reason why I had grape juice is because it's delicious. Also, you can do it in lemon flavor, but make sure I didn't use shaved ice, and you should use shaved ice because that's the reason what makes a Hennessy Snowball a Hennessy Snowball. All right. So now we're gonna realize that that drink was probably made already, but was in some obscure bar that they tried to mess it up. I stole that drink and then I made it myself, and then I'm amazing, and that's the reason why. And if nobody had made it yet, then they're gonna realize that that's what I did. A little bit, kinda. What's going on? All those 3 messages added up at the same time. Are you a bot? Because I will block you if you are a bot. Even though I am kind of tipsy, I am not someone who is to be messed with online, because don't try to know me because it's awesome. Alright, cool. I still don't know if you're a bot or not, but that's pretty much it. Alright, cool guys, cool. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear it, guys. Alright. So I had maybe 2 of those, and then I put those in 2 double shot Hennessy Snowballs. It was delicious. I'm going to talk about that for a while, how delicious they were. They were so delicious that I almost completely and utterly had an explosion of flavor in my mouth. It was actually what happened. It was an explosion of flavor in my mouth. So, that's the reason why I'm buying a car, and it's going to be free, because it's a free car. It's okay, man. It's cool. It's not a big deal. I'm not judging or anything like that, so it's cool. Alright, so, we're going to realize some very, very cool facts now about the Hennessy Snowball. Is that it's uncostly. It was a friend of mine's alcohol. He decided to let me drink it, and that's the reason why I drank it, because he decided that he was going to do something else. Hey, you know what? I got a shot for you. It's called, I called it this, but someone decided to be able to make it known, because she was very mean to me when I was younger, but I realized that she was trying to tell me something, that some of them go together. If you mix 3 different kinds of wild turkey together, you add something sweet, you add something sour, and you add something bitter, then you have yourself something that I might like to call a Wendigo. And that's pretty much it, guys. It's really, really good shot. And if you want to compete on which one has the best one, do this. Whatever 3 wild turkey whiskeys, or whatever kind of whiskey you choose about putting it in your drink, whatever 3 whiskeys are sitting right next to each other on the bar, take those 3 whiskeys and only those 3 whiskeys, because they mix them around sometimes. And this is the best part, because that's the reason why they have secret drinks. Every bar in the entire world has a secret drink, and it's something that the bar itself will make, but only for people who know what it is and know what it's called. Yeah, that's right. It's called the Wendigo. 3 different wild turkeys, something sour, something sweet, and a little bit of bitter. Alright, so you can put Tabasco in it if you want to, because it's kind of bitter as well. Or you can put whatever kind of thing you want to, because it's a freestyle shot. That's what I was told by the little bird that sits on my ear. Alright. So that's the reason why. And also, if you realize this, that the reason why they want you to figure it out is because they like you and they want you to figure it out. That's the reason why. It's called the Wendigo, and I have one that's called the After Christmas Special. No, I'm not drunk, not really. I'm actually kind of like, I'm a little bit tipsy, but I'm not really that drunk. So I'm kind of like swerving in and out of different things, but understandably so. All right, here's another one. The After Christmas Special. The After Christmas Special was made after Christmas. I made it up for a lady who didn't want to get drunk on certain things, but she wanted to get kind of tipsy. So I mixed a few things together. It was Myers rum, cream de cocoa. Let's see. It was a flavored vodka, and I think it was a vanilla flavored vodka. Peppermint schnapps, and these are all tiny partial shots, because I added milk. You should probably use almond milk, though, because I realized that somehow it's separated. And yeah, so and also what is it called? And also a little bit of orange or mint, I guess, if you want a mint or something like that in it, or like a mint sort of julep sort of thing going on. All right, Chris Little, you're gonna know that that I didn't give you that drink. I gave it to a woman who will remain nameless because she didn't give me her name. But it's cool. So see what else. I also made one that was called, let's see. I'm not that drunk. I'm not that drunk. I'm not that drunk. Alright, let's see here. I made, what else did I make? Let's see here. Let's see. It's one more, and I'm getting a call from Agent 14, like a dumbass. It's sharing, and there's people out there that can make these drinks. If you ask for it and you know what's in it, you can add stuff and take away stuff depending upon your likes or different likes of flavor. But you have to be over 21, so there's that. And they will ID you as soon as you get to the counter if you're acting like you're older than 21. Alright, so we're gonna know now that people like to fake their age and stuff like that, so we're gonna be wary of people who message on our stuff. Weary of people who message on our stuff. Okay, so there is a thing. Let's see here. How old is it, or how is it distilled? Because in order to gain flavors of certain things, they run it through certain processes, or run it down boards, I guess, like cherry wood, oak, or to get different flavors and stuff like that. They'll run it down an entire tree. They'll debark the tree, they'll make it into planks, and before they treat it, they'll do something like that. All right, that's cool. I'm glad to hear it. You can't tell me because it's G14 classified, but it's understandable. All right, cool. Just ask him what kind of process he uses, and if you ask any further, ask him what kind of if he pairs it with like a wood taste or something like that, or an oaky taste, or anything like that. Just let me know, because there is probably something that that Hennessy would like to know about some of the people that distill for them. Before they treat the wood, sometimes they have to debug it and do a bunch of different stuff like that. And sometimes the microbes in which the bugs actually do things, they can make a really unique flavor, and sometimes only for about a year or two. So they might not have to come up with a different edition if they. And bugs are protein, so bugs are protein, so it's really cool. A lot of times, when I started making alcohol, or not making alcohol, when I started making alcoholic drinks, I kind of tried to do different things. Oh, and also this shot, okay? They're called Mardi Gras bombos. Mardi Gras bombos. You can use whatever green liqueur you want to, but as long as it has that green liqueur is the finish, okay? It's Abita Amber. Oh, no, not Abita Amber. Abita Purple Haze. Blah. Abita Purple Haze. The beer half full. You drop in like a quarter shot, or maybe 3/4 of a shot of Goldschlager, and you can add sour apple or I prefer what is it chartreuse. I prefer chartreuse because it gives it a good oaky kind of flavor, a little bit like that, piney and oaky. And then because I don't know if somebody wants a different aftertaste, so they can use sour apple pucker or they can use chartreuse. So that's basically a good kind of different thing that I come up with in my own head when I'm drinking alcohol, thinking of different things. So yeah, they're called Mardi Gras bombos, and realize it. People are gonna be people might catch on to it, and I don't know, but yeah, Abita Purple Haze. What else? Abita Purple Haze, Goldschlager, and it's gonna be at least 3/4 full, so it's gonna be a nice shot. But what the Purple Haze does is it adds a tanginess to the cinnamony taste of Goldschlager. And if you put sour apple pucker in it, or chartreuse, then it could work really well with it, with the flavor, whatever your palate is, I guess. I'd say there's probably a bunch of different alcohols that they could pair with it that are green, but I don't know if they want to put any green beer and stuff like that, and stuff like that. So if they have sour apple pucker, or that's the ones that I recommend though. So it just depends on your palate. So whether you like sweet things or not sweet things. If you want to go write this down or something like that, I wouldn't blame you, but it's cool. But we're not at the middle of the video anymore, guys. We're not at the middle of the video anymore at all. So there are a lot of times when I
when I believed in a bunch of different stuff, and I realized that gave me the research or the know-how to be able to put things together sometimes, and that's sometimes what I did, as I used to try to mix certain alcohols together, and that the Wendigo is actually an ode to one of my friends who I talked about earlier, but I won't mention again. But she got me really, really drunk when I was in high school. And that shot is only for experts only. For experts only. Expert drinkers who know how to drink alcohol and know that they shouldn't take the entire shot by the mouth. They should mix it up and take it by sips, because it is not really, it will really fuck you up. It really does, because the 3 different alcohols, that whatever you mix together, the sour, the sweet, or whatever, if you do wild turkey honey or anything like that, realize that it's still going to mess you up a little bit because of the different distillations of everything. And that's the reason why a lot of people don't realize that they're drunk when they've had a few, but they don't know how much they can take sometimes because they overdo it. So that's the reason why I'm not driving right now. I'm driving a virtual car and doing nothing, and because I had a thing that I made in the room, and it is a really, really good, amazing thing. If someone came up with it before, now they're probably going to be making a lot of them. So all right. If anybody wants to take that or use it at all, I'm not going to send any letters in because I'm not a person who has problems that much. I may have a few problems, but I can take care of it myself. I'm not a guy that asks for too much advice. So if anyone wants to do that, they can do that. But if no one wants to do that, then bars can take it and use it for stuff. They're really, really powerful, the Mardi Gras bombos, guys. So if you take it and you take it lightly, then you might actually fall out your chair. You might actually fall out your chair. It's really, it hits you a little bit. It doesn't really hit you, but it gets to you. So, and that's the reason why it breaks away your notion of, I'm going to add fruit juice to this or anything like that, because it is completely all alcohol. So realize it. Whenever you're getting it, it's a half a cup of Abita Purple Haze. It is Goldschlager, maybe 3/4 of a cup, and a finish of either apple pucker, sour apple pucker, or chartreuse. It's only depending upon your palate. Only depending upon if you like it or you don't like it, or if you like the tanginess, or if you like the sweetness, or if you like the certain bite it gives something, or the lack of bite that it has, because it's a mellow, smooth finish no matter what. Alright, so that's that, and sour apple and cinnamon do go together. People don't understand that, and they complement each other very well. So whatever anybody wants, or chartreuse goes well with pretty much anything, I guess, sometimes, if you want to get it in small increments. You can substitute as bitters too, sometimes, because people don't understand that. There's a reason why it stays at bars that people order martinis from, and the reason why people own those bars and order martinis from there. Sometimes they use chartreuse in their martinis. And I realized that if a tangy thing was brought down by sometimes a bitter, or if they didn't have any bitters, then they would use chartreuse back in the day. So there was a lot of things I kind of noticed about that stuff. So or back in the old times when people were drinking way too hard. So, and they had hard cars that were all steel and shit. So, and they drove on the wrong side of the road sometimes because they were going to England so many times through boat or some sort of boat. All right, but yeah, that's the reason why I think that that bartenders have it pretty hard, and they have to keep secret some shots, because they don't know that that people really want to be the only ones drinking it, I guess. But I kind of don't want that. I want people to be able to kind of, like, you know, like, so whatever shot that I'm given, or whatever shot that I receive from the heavenly canary that sits in a cage, every time I bring it to a mine, it gets drunk and falls asleep. Because it usually doesn't want to be down there. Not because of anything that's chemically wrong with it, but because it's the pressure. That's the reason why it gets a headache and falls asleep. It's the reason why when you go back up and you realize that you wake it and you try to pat it a little bit, it'll wake right back up. It'll just be like, ah, what happened, guys? That's it. People were going down in soot-covered shit, and then the reason why that canary actually really died was because there wasn't actually poisonous things down there. It was just breathing in a bunch of terrible fucking things for it. Alright, I could be talking out of my ass, so I'm just gonna keep on keeping on. I noticed that there is no disposable radioactive waste to be found in a cave anywhere. Realized that stuff too, because I realized that that's the only reason why I was afraid, is because I was afraid that some sort of dead body was going to show up and try to say hi to me or some shit. Because that's what radioactive waste does sometimes. It can literally make you still think you're alive. And it can make, yeah. It can make you still think you're alive and give you reflexes. And then people play pranks on people with dead bodies and shit. It's just fucking annoying as shit, man. That's what I was afraid of the whole time. I didn't hear the words correctly, but I pretty much knew that that was one of my fears. So there's that. And understand that people are around all the time. They're good people and they know things. And if there's good people, then they do things that are good. Alright, cool. Good job me. I win. Alright, I'm back to being drunk a little bit. So I'm going to get some water. Hopefully I realize that I'm stretching out my stomach, and that's the reason why I have an upset stomach right now. Understandably so. That's the reason why I'm not going to throw it up, because I'm amazing. I'm the most amazing person ever, and that's the reason why. Alright, so there's people out there that think that that I'm drunk, or that I'm stupid, or that I'm dumb, or that maybe I'm driving a virtual car because this is the reason why I'm trying to tell people it's bad for driving. Realize that this is what you do when you think you're going straight. This is what you do. You overcorrect, and you go over bushes, and you're like, I don't even care about those bushes. But realize you do care about those bushes because they feed different things, and when they get berries, you realize that you said so many different things when you were in your head, and then you run into some shit. So that's what happens when you're drunk, when you're driving. And that's the reason why I will be amazing and awesome. And the reason why sometimes I don't drive with people, because I know how drunk they are, because I can literally look at their body motions and the movements and see exactly the reasons why I know that they're drunk. A lot of times people would get drunk before heists, okay? This is what gangs used to do. They get really, really drunk, and then they'd punch a wall somewhere so they wouldn't feel their hand. That's the reason why they would get really drunk, okay? And then they'd punch a wall somewhere. That thump is not somebody getting drunk on a thump. That is someone else. He will remain nameless. Alright, so now we're going to understand the reasons why people get drunk and stupid. Alright, so the reasons why gangs used to get drunk and stupid sometimes is because they wouldn't feel anything, and when they were pushing different stuff. And yeah, I'm getting another car because I got a new car. One came out, guys. It was really great. I got a new car, guys. And we're gonna keep on driving, even though we T-boned the shit out of this thing. Keep on driving, guys. And also realize that people are stupid because they'll do stupid shit and try to play practical jokes that don't make any fucking sense. So we're gonna go and we're gonna travel along the history of different gangs in Ireland and a whole bunch of different places. This is what Irish gangs used to do, okay? They realized they didn't have the one-up on fighting. They realized they didn't have the one-up on anything sometimes because they weren't the strongest dudes in the town. So this is what they would do, okay? They get super drunk before a fight, okay? Just so they could take every single punch. Then they would go home to their mom's house and say, "Mom, I got beat up." And then that's the reason why they would do that a lot and often, because they were trying to wear down their opponent. They would do that every single time, and that's why you see dudes who are Irishmen that have never been MMA fighters that have poofy ears. Those dudes didn't fight, okay? They didn't fight at all, even though there were people out there that did fight and could fight. And that's the reason why Irish gangs are somebody to watch. Always to watch and to always keep your eye on every single time. Because they do things. They try to do things. They try to say that they're gone the straight and narrow. And as soon as you say it, you see it, and you understand exactly their sense of humor. The straight and narrow means they're gonna try to use something sharp and pointy to stab someone. That's the reason why. So, realize if you ever go to Ireland and you ever get into a fight, you'll realize that there is no one that will save you. No matter who you are, no matter what you do, there is absolutely no one that can save you from the ensuing beatdown that some people do. Alright? Imagine that. Realize that. Realize that if you try to start a fight with someone or call out on anybody's bullshit on anything, they will call you out on every single thing you've ever done in your entire life. And you will wonder why they know all those things. Because they talk with their friends. And their friends live in America. All their friends live in America. They constantly have pen pals. Every single one of them. They constantly keep doing stuff. They always keep doing stuff because they want to know a little bit more information about someone's life that's doing something fucked up. Because they're not gangs anymore. Because they retired. They retired. They all retired, and they actually got pension because they were all steel workers. All of them were steel workers, and all of them knew every kind of bullshit that people were doing in places trying to talk bullshit about them and say a bunch of stupid shit. Believe me, when they know it's a gunfight, they bring a cannon. And that's how far it goes sometimes, because of not this video game, but because I may have done something in track. Maybe, I don't know. Realize they will bring a cannon to a gunfight. Realize they will bring a bazooka. Realize that they don't have a lot of gun laws in Ireland. And they won't care about M15s or the fact that they have certain magazines in them. That's the reason why they're so volatile. That the thing people thought that Irish gangs do sometimes, Irish dudes do, that other gangs go back on their word sometimes. That's what they do. If that ever happened, in whatever scenario that it could have happened, if there was a chance that they would ever make it to that window and all those dudes would be there, they would do it. They're crazy. They're absolutely crazy. The gangs in Ireland. They will do it, and they will do it completely and utterly beautifully, and people will actually applaud because of the amount of fucking effort that it took to be able to make that thing happen. Realize that every gang here in America is completely and utterly outnumbered. Everything they do is completely planned around by people who care about them. Constantly. People who talk to cops. Constantly. People who keep things completely and utterly silent, no matter what the fuck I say. But understand, if they ever went to another country and decided that they're going to flip somebody off or tell somebody that didn't fucking matter, then that person would hold that their entire life and make a journey, an entire journey of them completely ruining that person's life and anyone that they hold dear. And that's how I learned how to drink, guys. So realize, they look after their own constantly, all the time, no matter if you're trying to beat their ass or trying to do something terrible to them. Realize that if they are in their lives, they're in their lives forever. If you realize this and you understand the reasons why people do this stuff, it's because no matter what they do, they hold their friends. And people who have decided to be able to throw their friends away or tell them that they don't fucking matter sometimes, that shit doesn't happen in Ireland. That shit doesn't happen any fucking where else. They'll have to understand that the reasons why those gangs stay together and why they eventually make businesses is because they don't want to do crimes. They don't like it. They don't find it fun. They want to be able to get out of those shits so they can find legitimate businesses that actually make money without them having to run around town constantly telling people to shush. So realize that. Understand that. And understand that there are people out there that are fucking crazy. Absolutely crazy. And will murder people. Like constantly. Even if they get up through a stab wound, they said, you're murdered. You stay on the ground. And if you stay on the ground, you're murdered. That's what they do. That's what they say. They are crazy. They are the definition of crazy. So, that's the reason I learned how to drink, guys. Because I couldn't give a shit anymore about people doing things in certain other places. Oh, darn. I guess there's so another thing happening. No, they made businesses. They make businesses and they work. They work constantly because they know the facts, they know the details, because they know what kind of world they're going to grow up in. Because their parents told them every single day what was going on around town and what was happening around the world. Because of everything they paid attention to and everyone they constantly kept eyes on. So believe me, if there is a mafia out there that is ever Irish, then it is the same thing that will bring an end to everyone who ever acts like they're going to beat somebody up or show a gun to someone. Realize that there are no Hells Angels when it comes to Irish people. They tried and they fucking failed. Realize there is no meth or heroin highway or whatever the fuck that is because of the Irish Mafia. And as they tremble and as they understand the reasons why I drink sometimes and why I get kind of angry, they need to understand that yes, I did not drink with those people. My dad drank with those people. And the reason why someone's heart stops or anything is because they got drink under the table and they decided just not to admit it. So remember that and realize that and understand that. Because when I do not make a promise, if I do not keep my promise, then that is the reason why. Because I wish not to. And only because I wish not to. Because I wish not to put someone through something terrible that's fucked up and unbelievably stupid. And there is yelling right now in the other room, and those people will remain nameless. So, as we understand, there are things going on, there are things happening, we're all realizing things, and we're going to get back to drinking in a second, guys. So, realize this, guys. Gangs are fucking crazy across the world, and they will literally say whatever the fuck they want to say to make sure that people fucking behave themselves. Understandably so, that is not the CIA, so the CIA looks into it. And if someone is trying to do something terrible or fucked up, or they're just trying to keep some bully in line from trying to ruin another kid's fucking lunch meal, then they usually back off. Remember that and understand that. And the FBI takes over. And the FBI investigates that little boy and sees what he did. How he did it, the way of his intentions were. And then that same FBI agent, or those different FBI teams, go out and try to tell the different people that they're doing something wrong and they need to stop. And if that happens, or if that ever happens to that little kid or anyone else, people go to jail. And they'll happily go to jail. Because the fate that's waiting for them in other countries, the fate that's ever waiting for them in any other country where they decided to ruin some little boy's life, who a certain number of families, and these are families, my friends, families, who they've decided to piss off and then tell them that they weren't going to get paid, realize that blood will be shed, no matter what anyone says. And because of what they've done, or how they've done it, or the way they've done it, That's what'll happen. And I can't watch it, or I can't see it, and I can't know it. Because if I do, then I'll know I'll be absolutely a part of it. Realize it. And understand the fate that people decide for themselves outside of this country. That they decide they're going to look at a monument like they don't care anymore. Or they're going to tell someone that exactly those words that they shouldn't have said ever in their entire lives because it ruined so many other people's lives. And realize that Mardi Gras Bombos is a real fucking thing. And if it's not, then I'll tell the fucking bartender and they'll make it for me. Hopefully that other people do the same. And realize the reasons why a positive reinforcement and a bunch of different things changes minds and lives about something that used to hurt people. And hopefully that never happens ever again. Alright, I'm going pretty fast right now. And I think I just burned through all the alcohol that's in my system right now, so... I know I don't have a tan. It's just a headache from yelling a little bit too loud. So, the reason why I get angry, or the reason why I get mad sometimes, is because people are dying. People are dying everywhere. And they're trying to come up with new news stories to be able to say it, to be able to understand it, but it's literally just happening way too fast sometimes. So they just run the same news stories and realize that those people are completely lost forever sometimes. So realize people are making a difference, no matter what. And if you ever try to act like you're going to tell someone who exactly where they stand and not become the person who they think you are, then don't even try. Then don't ever try. And act like there's someone there that's going to help you. Because if they do see you do something completely terrible, they'll just say you went to Africa. Because people disappear in Africa all the time, and they never say it. Whether it's animals, whether it's cannibals, or whether it's fucking slave traders, or any one of those things in between. People who work for slave traders constantly. Realize that shit happens every single day in Africa. Every single fucking day. And the more you think you know about a situation, the more you think you understand a situation, the more they'll tell you about a little bit more history that you never fucking knew about and no one ever said. Because they were too fucking painfully hurt because of every single tear that was coming out of their face as they were writing down the paperwork. And don't worry, they got no more paperwork. So people are trying to make things better. And as that happens, people try to make stupid advances on different women that they think are hot. Notice that a woman that gets burned or something like that will have plastic surgery in America. Because chemical burns are fucking terrible. Chemical burns are absolutely insane. And realize that they'll have their surgery in America. And yes, they'll go back to their country because all they have is a passport and a bunch of money. Realize what happens to people and the reasons why sometimes they have to change themselves completely. Or someone else has to do it for them. Realize the memories that people are trying to implant or saying different words so they'll be able to be calm. So that they'll actually be able to actually have a future. To be able to look beautiful and wonderful as they once did again. And understand the words that come out of your mouth when you ever try to talk bad about your own girlfriend. Or say that she's a man whore. Or that you're a dumbass and you don't know what you're talking about. Because if you are, and if you do call your woman whatever you call her, or that she likes the fucking lizard, realize that she'll start to bite. And in some cases, she won't stop. Because it's a worked-in thing. Sometimes for women. Realize that women themselves have been taken advantage of over unbelievable eons of life. And also realize that there are people out there that make every single day of their lives completely and utterly better through surgery, therapy, and a lot of different care and a whole bunch of money. that is usually given to people who really, really deserve it and who really, really need it. And I died. But it's okay. Be yourselves and realize that there are people out there that care. And I'm at 40 minutes, but I'm going to stop it here because that completely just broke my buzz. I had 4 shots of alcohol. It doesn't even affect me anymore because I'm mostly Irish sometimes, or at least my organs are, or the things that act like organs even though they're something else usually, because they're not actually considered organs, they're considered muscles that process different alcohols and different things. So that's the reason why. So I gotta go take a piss. So be yourselves and understand that if you decide to tell a woman that you don't care about someone or you don't care about something, realize that that thing was probably the worst thing in her life and she needs you to help. And if she's still there in your life, then take her out to see a movie, or take her to get an ice cream, or take her to get anything to get her mind off of something, or do anything. Just play a game and at the house, and don't do so much addition and subtraction all the time. But sometimes people get in sync, and people can tell when people are completely and utterly just swamped. So realize that, and I'm gonna go kill a bunch of gang members on the video game, because that's the game. It's called Grand Theft Auto, and I do this all the time because it's fun as hell. Gonna use a shotgun, hope it's silenced. This is exactly sometimes what guns sound like. Alright, we're gonna go on the other side of this building and realize that we had to go in that alleyway. So alright. And alright, guys. And we're not gonna shoot that guy that said something stupid. Alright, we're just gonna go in here. We're gonna check out some stuff. Shut up, bitch. Alright. That guy obviously wanted to go to Arabland. It is not a theme park. I'm sure it's not. So and we're going to keep on going because this is actually the best sport there ever was. Shooting. Undoubtedly so. I am shooting programs, not people. So that's the reason why it is not considered violent that much. And we're gonna shoot him, and we're gonna use this, and we're gonna. Oh, she almost got him. There we go. And all right, and we're gonna get behind something, make sure we can see our targets, and got shot. Don't worry, we have a recycled body that is completely put back into where it needs to be. And don't worry, this is not security or anything like that. That is an insinuation or anything like that. I am not trying to insinuate that this is anybody but gang members. Alright, gang members. Here we go. Alright, those dudes tried to run away because they're little bitches. Okay, cool, they're not little bitches. Alright. And, alright, that dude's dead. We're going to realize that there's people on the other side of this thing. We're going to hand behind here, and then we're going to shoot this motherfucker in the face. Hopefully he realizes that he needs to bring his face up for me to shoot him in the face. And he's dead. Alright, good. Alright. And and that dude's dead now. Take this guy out. All right, and okay, now we're not going to talk in an Irish accent because I am not that Irish. And And that's more of an Irish Catholic priest, because most of them came from London, so, or some other way, and then they grew up around kids that spoke Irish, and then that's the reason why they ho-de-ha like that. They have kind of a little bit of an Irish twang, but and he's not getting covered. And now we're gonna keep on moving forward, noticing that we're taking out all these gang members on a video game, not in real life. Alright, that guy's gonna realize that I had to put a few more slugs in him to make him not be able to get up. Alright, he's dead now. And we're gonna take these weapons, but first we're gonna shoot that guy right there, make sure he doesn't flank us later on, whenever we're trying to kill other people in the video game. Alright, now we're gonna keep on using this whole thing, and we're gonna get this guy, and he's dead now. And we passed. Passed it, guys. Did a great job. Gang members, guys. Gang members. Alright. I'm gonna realize Italian, they probably weren't, because sometimes criminals like to have facelifts. They do it on the black market, and that's the reason why they have fake stupid accents sometimes, to be able to act like they're other people. That's the reason why they're dumb, and the reason why they're stupid, and the reason why some probably know from something that I heard or somewhere that I was at, because, you know, just stuff, right? All right. And people that like to get facelifts like to act like law enforcement sometimes, and that's the reason why sometimes people make untimely demises, because I'm not going to say anything else, because they usually just die on their own of some sort of chemical that they put in their system, not knowing that it would build up, and shit happens. So, and that woman just screamed because a gun shot off by itself. Hopefully people know that this place is now haunted. That would be really cool if GTA had ghosts. It would be the coolest thing ever, and it would be the funniest thing that I ever saw in my entire life. All right. Because then you can talk to them and know their story. They were a hard video game program, running through the wires and the things like that, trying to get to the controller. Understandably so, it never worked out for them, because they weren't the main character. Realizing that you're not the main character in your own life kind of makes you kind of sad sometimes. Realizing that fictional works and a whole bunch of different things of people saying stuff can be completely and utterly bullshit sometimes, because they're saying things that they try to keep you completely calm. And sometimes you don't need to be calm. Sometimes you need to run very, very fast. Sometimes you need to run extremely fast. That's the reason why I have particular reservations about Catholics and pretty much every single religion, as because they decide to be calm in situations that are bad, to try to give people help. Understandably so, sometimes they lose their lives and they don't need to, because it sucks. And they believe that they'll be ascended to some sort of amazing place, and they'll always have fun, and sometimes that's the place that they make inside their own brain, in their brainstem. But understandably so, I want to make a place like that one day, and I hope eventually it comes here, and when I make that place. But I don't know if that's in the works, guys. So realization of fact is that a lot of times when things are in a certain place or around a certain place, people try to claim it, like the moon, like saying that the moon is owned by one guy, or saying that the moon is owned by a council, or saying that the moon was ever owned by anything else but itself. The moon could literally drift off into space at any moment, guys. I don't think it hasn't yet, but the realization of fact is that sometimes people don't really know what the moon has in store for itself, Eventually, it will fade out of our complete and utter existence, and it will be completely dark sometimes at night. And that's the reason for electricity being around, because they knew that that will be a fact back in the 16 and 1500s. That's the reason for those different computers that were able to come about and able to do different things. Unfortunately, some of them were controlled by radioactive materials. A lot of people did. So that's the reason what happened. People are stupid, and they do stupid things and try to tie themselves to whatever the fuck they can to be able to hold on for dear life. Understandably so. If they just relax their bodies sometimes, they'd be able to make it to safety sometimes. Understandably so. There are a lot of things that currents do that are able to smash people into beaches. Or not smash them, but crash them into beaches. So, if ever you're on a boat and you're close to a shore, but you don't understand something, try to lie flat on your back. Whatever you do, even if you don't have a life safety thing, try to lie flat on your back on the top of the deck or wherever you're at. Don't try to jump out. Don't try to be stupid, because you'll completely and utterly sink inside the water. The waves sometimes will keep you afloat, especially the surf. The crest of a wave is very buoyant. It's very buoyant, and it will throw you onto the shore sometimes. So realize that. If you have a life safety jacket, all you have to do is sit back and let the tide bring you in. Even if there's rocks around, you'll be able to hold on to something and climb your way up eventually, if you have the proper gear, or if you have gloves, or if you have any sort of kind of duct tape at all. Realize that a grip, whatever it is, it's usually dry, no matter if your hands are dry or not. And realize that Tomb Raider could have been real if people were a little bit more adventurous and stupid enough to be able to make something dumb. I haven't seen the movie, understandably so. I've seen the trailer, and I understand that that woman is absolutely suicidal. Understandably so. She did some very stupid things. She did some things stupid because I told her to lie back. I didn't tell her anything. It was a movie because I'm stupid. And I am not a stunt coordinator. I am not a stunt coordinator to my own knowledge. All right, now we're going to understand a lot of different things that people have to do whenever they're in a waterfall, okay? Wrong thing to do. Lying flat on your back and kicking and running is the best thing to do. Lying flat on your back and kicking and running is the best thing to do, because what it does is whatever situation or whatever kind of current is there, even if it's the smallest tiny tadpole of things, that's the reason why that man died who did that belly flop into a tiny kiddie pool. If he would have broken the water, it would have broken his fall better. But he tried to break the water with his chest, not his legs. Realize you may break a leg at some point if you are trying to climb a frozen waterfall at some point at all. Realize that that will happen eventually if you are careless and stupid enough to go up a running waterfall trying to go up a frozen one. Realize that that will happen. There will be a bunch of opportunities to be able to be stupid and to be able to try to risk your life. Understandably so, I will not be doing that because I'm not a fucking moron. I, in turn, believe that it is fucking moronic to do that. Understandably so, there are a lot of people out there that are thrill seekers because they have gone through really terrible things and they want to make positive memories out of it. It's a therapy session sometimes. People talk to each other, they communicate, they keep things around most of the time. They're able to make sure that everyone's safe and everyone has a great time. So understand that there are people out there who are professionals that do everything possible to be able to make sure that there are people out there that help. And also understand that no, I will not be doing any of that ever, because I am not a dumbass. I know my own standpoint. I know exactly how much I balance. I am good to stay on the ground. That is the reason. I am a ground type of person. A ground type of person. I am a ground type of person. That is the reason why. So, realization of fact is that that's the reason why sometimes alcohol would be able to quell the storm of someone's thoughts. It would stop them from thinking about something else, and they would think about another thing. Granted, let's talk about alcohol again, because I think that it's still in my system a little bit, and I still have to go to the bathroom. Alright, understandably so, sometimes talking very fast and doing different things can shut off certain parts of your organs, and your system gets overflowed. So as I'm at 54 minutes, we are going to end this. And there we go. That's the end. And it's over on its side. Yay! We are going to do this. We're going to do this and get out of the car. Realize that we're going to get out of the car. There we go. Alright. And we are going to use... not a Uzi, but this bump stock right here looks really, really comfortable. Usually, people don't understand that bump stocks are very comfortable. If you, god damn it, but I have to understand that I have to use a different gun. So, this little stock right here is okay. Alright, we're going to get real close and realize the explosion doesn't happen because sometimes the polarity of different winds and different areas don't pull the explosion towards you. No matter if it's going out or going in sometimes, realize that certain people got lucky because of a certain wind current sometimes. And that's the reason why they threw a grenade. It happened to explode exactly right next to them because of a wind current that was strong enough to be able to take that thing somewhere else. To be able to take that explosion somewhere else. Realize that explosions happen not because of certain pulls, but because of certain amounts of bang, or an amount of a certain protein that an animal used to eat a very, very long time ago, fermented beyond completely its entire... it's completely unattainable sometimes, and people don't understand it. It's unattainable because people actually think that sometimes they're, let's take a look at these cops, and I didn't do that. I had a pink one. I want a pink one. I wanted to use a pink one. Okay, cool, I'm done. Remember that you are your own one-man metaphorical bomb squad. You can stop things before they happen. You can defuse situations before they happen at all. And understand this, for a fact, for an unbelievable fact. If you ever decide to be in a gang, or ever decide to be a part of something that you think is better than yourself, realize that you are better than the situation that you're in. Realize that before putting on whatever jacket you feel like putting on, that you have to be able to commit to it completely and fully, or else do not completely and utterly commit to it at all, because it means certain death. That's what it always means. Always remember and be safe and be careful and be helpful. And hopefully certain will become into probably will eventually turn into a job. And that job will help you and not hurt you because you think that you have a lizard in your pants, or because some dude thinks that you're amazing, or some dude that thinks you're awesome and you're the best, or whoever's the best or whatever's the best. It doesn't fucking matter when that gun's in your goddamn face. That's what happens. People get guns pointed in their goddamn faces every day. And that's the reason why people need to understand that that's what happens in Ireland. And people get over it. Because that's what happens. They just get over it. And sometimes people shouldn't just get over things. They should get through them and realize the reasons why the gun was in the face before. Is because that guy had a terrible fucking day, and then someone said something about someone's wife, and he fucking flipped his shit because he did not go to therapy. He did not help himself, and he did not go through the proper situations to believe exactly the person he actually was, and exactly the person he was actually meaning to be. And usually when they fight, they hug and they drink afterwards. Usually. Hopefully they'll have a glass of water first. Thank you very much, and I am Joe Bomb Squad. Have a good day.